Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about the differences between the TM6 and the TM5, and I'm even going to touch briefly on the differences between the TM31. Now, if you're not aware, the TM31 was the model before the TM5. Some people still have it. I've had clients come to demonstrations who've had the TM31 for 25 years. That's right, 25 years. It's kind of unbelievable, but it's absolutely true. And when I've shown them the TM6, although they've said it's absolutely fantastic, there's not much point in them buying one until their TM31 breaks down. So that just tells you a little bit about the provenance of the Thermomix. It has been running for 50 years. It's just had its 50th year birthday. And it's a fantastic product. It's German, it's sturdy, it's made to last. So when you buy a Thermomix, you are investing in a product that will be with you for the majority of the rest of your lives. So let's get down to it. What is the differences between the TM5 and the TM6? Now you might be wondering why I've got both of these machines. Well, obviously I'm an advisor and I've been working for Thermomix for 5.5 years now. I earned this one first, but as the new model came out, obviously I earned the TM6 as well. Now at first I thought I would sell my TM5, but actually I've kept them both, and you'll probably know that if you've seen any of my videos. The TM5 sits down there on the other counter. Now I love the TM6 so much that actually what I tend to do now is just use this one. I'm sorry, close your ears. TM5 as a blender. I use this one for things that I know how to make, that I'm just going to throw in and that are just going to be really quick and simple. For instance, all my breakfast smoothies go in there because I'm just throwing in the ingredients. But I keep this bad boy for using cookie dough and, you know, the created recipes that I've got saved on my cookie dough account as well, because of all the features that I'm about to go through with you. So as you can see, first off, the screen is much smaller on the TM5. That was a great upgrade that they did with the TM6. Absolutely love the screen. They're both touch screen, but the TM5 has its very few little functions listed underneath, whereas the TM6 has so many functions that you actually have to swipe left to be able to see them. And now you even have to swipe upwards to see the rest of them. That's right, because the TM6 gets better with age. When you do a software update and there's new modes, they'll appear directly onto your Thermomix, which is obviously exactly what you want. A device which improves with age. Next up, the TM5 has a cook key. This is a cook key and it sits on the side of the Thermomix. Quite annoying because it's easily knocked off, and sometimes even when you're cooking it will become slightly dislodged as well because it's just connected with a magnet. And this is your access to cookie dough and the Wi-Fi. So pretty frustrating if that comes loose mid-cook. And it doesn't even want to go back on. I'll show you what it looks like sitting in position, like so. Okay, now that it's come off, it's going to take a moment to just reconnect itself. So, Cookie Dough is a platform that has over 60,000 recipes on it. Great place to get ideas and to do meal plans to save yourself money. If you've got a TM5, you're going to need to press this little button at the top so that it can connect with your cookie dough and it can actually download the recipes. That's a bit ancient compared with what the TM6 can do. So, coming to the TM6, coming to the home screen, and we're going to press search, and immediately you're connected to cookie dough. So you can search for whatever you like. You can find recipes that you've used previously. You can go and have a look at the recipe and you can find out all about what's involved, the nutritional values, the preparation, ingredients, etc., etc. You can even click on apart within that recipe and jump straight to that point on the Thermomix, which is really useful. For instance, if you were making a lasagna and you just wanted to make the cheese sauce for a different recipe, you could jump to the lasagna recipe and then just click on where it starts making the cheese sauce, and hey presto, you go straight to it. Next up, the scales. So hopefully by now you know that the scales are in the 3 feet in the bottom of the Thermomix. That's the same for the TM6 or the TM5. However, it weighs at different capacities. So if you have a TM31, then you're going to be weighing at 10-gram increments, which leaves an absolutely huge gap for error. The TM5 came along and halved that, so it's weighing at 5 grams. Much better, but still not perfect. Now the TM6 is coming at 1 gram increments, making your cooking and baking super precise, just where you need it. When the TM6 was born, it was given the capacity to cook at higher temperatures. This bad boy will cook up to a temperature of 170 degrees. The TM5 will cook to 120, but the TM31 only goes up to a fairly sad 100 degrees. Also, the cooking times completely changed. Now the TM5 is the same as the TM31 in this capacity. It will cook for 99 minutes. Now that doesn't mean that you can't reset the Thermomix and get it to cook for an additional time, but that is the reason why it is no good for slow cooking, particularly if you're going to be out and about. Whereas the TM6 has the slow cooking function and it has the ability to cook non-stop without interruption for 8 hours. Finally, let's have a look at the bowls. Now on first look, they look pretty similar. They are both the same capacity, 2.1 litres, and like I said, they do look fairly similar. However, they will not be able to be used in the opposite machines. The reason being, now that the TM6 can go up to the high temperatures, it has different nodules and heat sensors. To stop you from using this in a TM5, it has a flap there that is green, and also you can see the bottom is green, because if, like me, you have one of each, it could get a bit confusing when it comes to bringing them out of the dishwasher. So the next point, and really this is crucial in my opinion, this is a lid of a TM5. Now this part is exactly the same. However, basically that lid, turn it upside down, it falls out. Really annoying when you're cooking and you want to just take the lid off quickly, and you basically have to hold your hand here, which risks you getting perhaps burnt by the steam, etc. So that's really annoying, and they came up with a much better design for this one where it stays in place. However, really easy to pop out as well. Just with a little wiggle, it goes back in. And that's it really, where we can go to with the comparison in terms of things that are similar. Now we're going to talk about how the Thermomix TM6 is completely different and the TM5 just really can't compete. So, as I showed you earlier, with the swiping, it has these different modes. So within the functions, in the pre-clean mode, it has the ability for you to say what exactly you were doing, whether you were browning something, whether you were cooking fat or making caramel, or whether you were making a dough. It will then determine how dirty the bowl is, and that will decide how long it's going to clean it for. Really simple, put a bit of water in, just 1 dot of washing up liquid, turn it on, it'll clean itself whilst you're doing something else, ready for the next recipe that you want to make. Really simple, and it's just a fantastic function. So you've also got the fermentation mode, which is fantastic for making yogurts overnight. You can thicken sauces. There's a rice cooker, an egg boiler. As I mentioned earlier, it's a slow cooker. You can use sugar stages to make things like caramel and fudge and homemade honeycomb, which is absolutely gorgeous. Obviously it has the ability to go into higher temperatures. So there is a high temperature mode for frying onions and things like that. You can also sous vide, and it has the ability to be a kettle should you want that if you're going off traveling. And lots of people do go traveling with Thermomixes in their camper vans and caravans because it's basically a kitchen in one device. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that it can replace up to 30 items in your kitchen. So it really is a fantastic purchase. So there's a few reasons why I would recommend buying a Thermomix from new. You get a warranty, and obviously you wouldn't have that if you bought it secondhand, and you get a 2-year warranty, and you have the ability to extend that warranty by another 3 years for £149, giving you 5 years peace of mind. Secondly, you don't know what the Thermomix has been used for. And I've heard of people making dog food, cat food in it, etc. You don't know if it's been stored in a garage. Obviously with the scales, etc. being so expensive, you don't really want to risk that. Now, I'm a big advocate of recycling products, and I'm not saying definitely don't buy one secondhand, but only buy one secondhand if that is really your only option in terms of, you know, affordability. It's much more sensible to get yourself on a brand new one because they're gonna stay with you for such a long time. It really is an investment. And of course you can apply for finance, so you can have a Thermomix in your kitchen for as little as £35, spread that over 3 years. So that is a much better idea if money is a problem. Also, it's a really good idea to buy directly from an advisor like myself, because you're going to have the knowledge that that person can bring. I have groups for my clients, I have Facebook groups, and I'm on WhatsApp with my clients so that if they have any questions, I make sure that they're really happy and they know exactly what they're doing so that they make the best use of their Thermomix. I've heard too many stories where people have said, oh, I bought a Thermomix online, I don't have an advisor and I don't really know how to use it, and they haven't picked up any of the tips and tricks that a really knowledgeable advisor will pass on. So in summary, I think that the TM6 is far superior to the little brother TM5, but if you can't afford one, perhaps you'd like to think about becoming an advisor. I'm a team leader and I can hook you up with becoming an advisor. You just need to make 4 sales and you'll earn yourself a TM6 for free. So as usual, my details are coming below. If you would like to find out more about becoming an advisor, please drop me an email. And better still, if you just want to take the leap and buy a Thermomix, you can contact me and be safe in the knowledge that you will have decent access to a really good advisor who wants to make sure you're super happy with your purchase. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you again soon.